Hi all, it's time to talk about the midterm. Since nobody responded about wanting to do a Zoom, I'm just going to do this short video and hopefully it will explain everything that you need. When you go to your midterm, it's going to be set up under the quiz category. At this point in time, I have two set up. I have a practice quiz because for this quiz, you're going to have Respondus browser and the Respondus monitor as well. You'll need to download those. It'll tell you how to do that once you open it up. And I want you to do the practice quiz first. The practice quiz is nothing. You enter your name and whatever your favorite chapter or favorite topic we've covered so far is. But that's basically to get you familiar with what Respondus is going to require you to do. You have to have a webcam on your computer or on your iPad. You may use an iPad for this, even though I personally recommend a keyboard, but some people do better with the touch keyboard on an iPad. Either way, you have to have some ability for it to monitor you. You're also going to need some kind of ID. I'm not really too worried about it. If you've got a driver's license or something, you can just flash it in front of the camera so that I know that you are who you say you are. All right, so you're going to do that practice quiz first. I'm going to open up the practice quiz tomorrow morning or Monday morning, depending on when you watch this video, and it'll be operative the entire time. I encourage you to take the practice quiz because if you have trouble, this will help you sort out what your problem is before you actually get to the midterm itself. Also, if you do this and everything's working fine, when you get to the midterm, if there's a problem, I know that you've at least made the attempt, because if you wait until you actually take the midterm to do it, you're only going to get one shot at the midterm. So you need to do the practice quiz and make sure everything's working. It's set up for multiple times to make sure everything is there. And then when you get to the midterm, you're only going to have 2 hours. You're going to have one shot at it. So you need to make sure that you are set to go, that everything's good to go. All right, speaking of the midterm, I'm opening the midterm up Thursday morning. You have from Thursday morning at 7 a.m. until Saturday evening at 11:59 to take it. But again, you have one shot, so be sure that you've got 2 hours allocated somewhere that you can do it. I expect you to use your textbook, but you must also then mandatorily cite, and it should be in the format of author of the textbook and the page number that you're getting information from. All right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm not showing you the questions. You're going to see the questions when you actually get there, but here is what the format's going to look like. You're going to have effectively 5 questions. 2 of them are required. One is effectively a long answer. This one right here, number 1, while the first one at the top, required. And the third one, which is a required short answer. Now, those are variable. I tend to think of long ones as being things that encompass big, thinky parts of the course, big ideas, and short ones as being specific to specific things. So you can approach it that way as well. Bear in mind, again, you've got 2 hours. You need to use a minimum of 30 people, places, things, identifications, and they must be different. You can't harp on Thomas Jefferson 30 times. You can use him once. In the course of doing it, you have to demonstrate, you don't have to tell me who he is, but you have to use his name in such a way that I know that you know who he is. In context, I should be able to see it. You can't use a list. You can't suddenly go John Adams, George Washington, Alexander Hamilton, blah, blah. No, you have to use them uniquely for a specific point. So no lists are allowed, or if they are, I'll count one thing in it, but the rest of it's a lost point. So the whole idea here is for you to demonstrate to me your knowledge of at least 30 different people, places, things that are relevant here. If you talk about Buddhism or Taoism or any of those things, that's good. You just have to use them independently enough so that I know that you know what they are. That's the whole point. You need a minimum of 30 spread out over the 5 essays. You don't have to put them all in one. You don't have to do 30 in every one. You just need to use them spread out over your 5 essays. If you have more than 30, which I actively encourage you to do, that all counts as extra credit. So anything above 30 goes into your extra credit range. You also have an extra credit question that's worth up to 10 points for it. You can either address, and I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. You can address anything that isn't covered on the test already, and that means literally anything. You can't just go in and pick up something that that you chose not to answer on the test and use information for it. It's got to be something that the content of the test doesn't cover that you found interesting, or in the multiple choice ones, like question 2, where I give you 3 questions and you pick one of them, or in questions 4 or 5, where I'm giving you 3 questions and you pick one of those. If one of the other questions is one that you want to answer, you can bump it into the extra credit and use it. You will be able to move back and forth between the questions. I haven't set it up that rigidly for that, so you'll be able to move back and forth, especially when you get to the extra credit. Question 7 is not a question. That's just the blank point that I've allocated for counting up your identifications so that I can add them all together to total out to 100. So at this point then, that's going to be the basics of the test. The things that you need to know, again, be sure that you use your citation. If there's no citation, there's no grade. It's a 0. You must have that citation in there. You'll have the 2 hours. You will have the 1 shot at the 2 hours. If you close the exam early, you don't get to go back in. So it's all at 1 shot. Be sure you've got your time set up. 5 minutes before it's over, the clock will start telling you that you've got 5 minutes, because it's going to lock you out at 2 hours. That's going to close it and it's going to lock it out. If you don't get done, nothing I can do about that. The whole idea here is for you to be familiar enough with this material that you can knock some of this stuff out literally in that 2-hour window. It'll open Thursday morning, as I said, and it will close Saturday evening at 11:59. So if you're putting it off on Saturday, be sure that you do not start any later than 9:59, 10 o'clock, so that you can be done by midnight, because that's when it ends. If you have any questions, you can email me. Now, if you're emailing, you can't email me while you're taking it, while not off your computer, because the Respondus Lockdown browser is going to lock your computer, so you can't do that. If you email me, or if you have problems, do email me. I'm going to send out in an email, if I haven't already, the Respondus Lockdown instructions themselves. It tells you that if you have a ticket to go put or if you have a problem, to go put a ticket in with them. Also forward me a copy of that so that I know that you had a problem and you were trying to address it and you just couldn't get in there or something happened. Let me know as well. Forward it to me so I have it on point, and do that literally as soon as you send it to them, because I need to know as soon as possible if you're having a problem. I encourage you again, don't wait till the last minute to take it. Try to take it when you can find room for it. You've got a 3-day window to do it. And again, if you have questions, let me know. I think that's everything I was going to cover with this. Again, it's in the quiz section of your thing. Do try to take that other one first. Yeah, and if you have questions, let me know. Good luck.